We have a number of unpaid bills from your father, and he's not here. Your fathers seem to have gone off on an adventure, perhaps.
All of our fathers.
That is my understanding. I'm sure all that's happened is there's been some misunderstanding with the arrangements of bills. And
Yes.
Archibald will return in the morning with proper news.
Yes, I'm sure.
Lunch passes. Tea comes and goes. Dinner comes and goes. The evening comes and goes. No one returns from London. The next day, no one returns from London. The house kind of takes on a sort of tense sullenness to it.
I would like it if there was something else I could do to help Archibald or Papa in any way, because if there's anything I could do,
Well, I'm sure if Papa needs a new dress, he'll come straight to you.
Oh.
Did you get into my father's study?
No, it was locked.
Would you like to try again?
You look over the bookshelves and you note a number of strange books, stuff that you've never even imagined of. There's books on the occult, there's books on demonology. A ring rolls across the floor, a letter sort of falls down.
If you are reading this letter, then I am...
Talia, please.
If you are reading this letter, then I am no longer with you in this world. I write this to you now so that you may know what you must do in the event of my unexpected demise.
This is ridiculous.
There are forces in this world that are dark and malevolent, seeking to do harm to humanity. They are not what they seem, and it has been my honour and duty to ensure that they do not succeed. This work is dangerous, but it is important. It now passes to you.
What?
I have kept much from you, for it was too dangerous to write down more than what was absolutely necessary. However, I trust that you are ready to take on this burden. There is much for you to learn, and you must find your own path with the information you can find in my office.
Man's ring, it's gold. It has a large red sort of rectangular ruby enclasped in it. The ring. You've never seen anything like it. You've certainly never seen your father wear this ring.
The ring that accompanies this letter will aid you in your greatest need, but it is not to be worn lightly, for it will bring a heavy burden with it. You must be strong and wise as you navigate this path. Know that you must share these secrets with no one else in the family and keep them safe, as I have always tried to do before you. Trust few people, but with this letter, I've set you on the path to the Fraternitas Custodum. They will train you. May you find the strength and wisdom to succeed where I have failed. With all my love, Frederick Penhallow.
I'm going to London. I can't be here and be useless anymore. So I'm going to do something. I feel awful. I shouldn't have...
You're not going alone.
Talia.
You're not going alone. If you want to come with us...
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I have to.
The sound of birds, the sound of horses' feet on the gravel road, and the view of a dark London on the horizon.
You had not expected that I had planned to go to London with absolutely nothing.
I'm just asking who we're going to.
The Viscount Sellingham. I trust that Edward himself will not send word back home if I tell him not to, but I think it is probably for the best we not tell any servants of the true nature of our visit.
That sounds feasible.
And perhaps the contents of the letters should also not be shared.
By the winds! Miss Rosalind Penhallow, what are you doing here?
I I'm so sorry for the imposition.
It is never an imposition, my dear. The house is yours, and the servants will treat you as if they are your own. You know, there could be many more shared adventures in the future.
Really?
Really.
I would like that very much.
And as soon as your father returns, like, oh, well done, round one to you. Best of 3?
And what does the winner get?
A wager?
Well, we might as well make it interesting. I win. I want your shield and saber.
I think perhaps I might have to up mine, if that was to be the case of equal measure. You ask for a lot, Talia. Very well. If I win, I would like to take you as my wife. It's just a joke. It's just a jest, of course. Of course, I could not part with my sword. It is much too meaningful to me.
Perhaps the lion's head.
Whatever would you do with the head of a lion?
Or whatever are you doing with the head of a lion? Think that you would be able to take care of her.
Oh, I'm positive I could take care of her. I would like nothing more.
And how am I supposed to trust you on that?
It's about that sort of time that you see Benjamin coming up and coming over to your tables. My lord, I've just got back from the house, and there's you've got a guest there waiting for you. Goes by the name of Mr. Jonathan Whitmore. He said it was quite urgent. I'm glad to see you're all well. I'm sure you have something to say for yourself, Talia.
Everybody told us to just sit and wait and that it would all be okay, and we couldn't do that. I'm sorry, but none of us knew where they were. And nobody seemed to be doing anything.
We are all doing what we can.
Has there been word from Archibald?
There has not. Yeah, I was just on a break, but no, yeah, I am. Where do you want to go?
An area called Ratcliffe, if that's quite all right.
Sorry, Ratcliffe, you say?
Yes. Is that doable?
Why would 3 young ladies want to go to Ratcliffe? You searched for something. And your journey just begins.
Did you know our fathers?
They sought me. But I didn't let them find me.
You let us find you.
Do you know where they are?
Scattered. Broken. Lost. Yep, so you slip the ring on. Roll 3d6. From your perspective, your eyes roll into the back of your head. Your muscles spasm all down your spine. This sort of white flash erupts from your eyeballs, along with this sort of terrible headache, and then you black out. From your two's perspective, Rosalind slips on this ring. Her eyes roll into the back of her head. Her back arches. She screams, and a flash of bright light erupts from her body in an explosion. And you all take 11 points of damage. This pain has finished running through you. It's about the time that you see Rosalind's body hit the floor. A sort of coolness, like cold water, flows over you. And you find yourself walking through darkness, wetness around your feet. The water's thick, it feels thick as you walk through it. And you find yourself just walking in darkness, a sort of hollow feeling darkness, after what seems like you don't know. It feels like you've always been walking. And you can hear something in the distance. Is it a hum? Is it music? Can't quite comprehend it. And then the darkness explodes around you into light again, and a huge burning yellow eye fills your entire vision, and this massive pupil, this big black spot, stares right through you, into you. Like you can feel it sees every atom in your body.
No, my father.
Speak his name.
Frederick Penhallow.
I know him.
What are you?
Nothing. Not anymore. I've come for my power. It is the ring that binds us.
You know, if you want something stronger, you could try some laudanum. We've got plenty of that.
Laudanum.
Try some of that. That's where we all end up in the end, isn't it? You gotta go easy with this, though. Just a couple of drops is all you need. One of them in the sort of breast pocket has a flat metal disc, made of a very dark black metal and it seems to be carved like the face of the moon. Okay, as this blood begins to pool, you're doing it in the centre, aren't you? Of course you are. Into this central sort of pupil engraving. This sort of pale, luminescent glow.
As soon as it starts light up, I'm going to try. I want to get out.
Yeah, the more blood, the more this sort of dull glow. Blood begins to slowly ooze around the engraving of this eye. Mostly we go off to the Velvet Masquerade.
What's that?
What's the Ore-house, isn't it? No, you cannot stay at the inn anymore. Security at the inn is like just that chubby old owner with his gun, and he is supposed to sleep all the time. I would not trust him with my life. And that is what you are trusting if you tell someone from the Rat's Tails that you are staying there, and you talk with these voices, and you let them know that you are people of money. Wherever you are here, and that's none of my business. You cannot stay there anymore. I insist. You must stay here tonight. Put your lives in danger.
We'll protect your girls. You said you couldn't protect us if we weren't your girls.
I can protect you if you're in my house.
Some people, and not everyone here, because it is not the same for most people. Some people might know that they would never be happy with the person that they marry.
I see.
Some people can't marry people who would make them happy.
I thought I understood things quite clearly. Men have always liked me, and
Yes, I can see why.
I am not so foolish as people think. I've worked so hard, you see, my whole life to be everything that I thought I should be and everything that I thought they wanted me to be. And I now feel as though the rules were entirely different and I was playing along with a game I did not know I was part of. But it wasn't just men. There were women who came here as guests.
Mm-hmm.
And they could do as they pleased. But it's not allowed, is it? It's not.
No.
They come here for it because it's not right. You can't do that anywhere else.
No, it is. They come here because society does not allow them to do it elsewhere. That does not mean it is wrong.
See you later.
I'll bring my book. Perhaps we could read together.
Yeah, you kick him right in the stomach. You hear something snap. Blood sort of comes out of his mouth. He falls backwards into the mud. Rumour has it that this afternoon a police officer was attacked off the main road. Jumped by 4 or 5 men. There's the rumour going around. They broke 4 of his ribs. They held him down and threatened to end his life if he did not quit pursuing them. You would not know anything about that, would you?
Well, none of that story rings true.
I did not think so.
Beatrice came and found me, and she said that I'd be much better off working for her than, like, what I was doing. And she has been true to her word.
And
Yeah.
suppose you fell in love, what would you do then?
And then they took me to that house.
The one with the basement.
The basement. The nasty things. And then they killed me. Don't understand what happened afterwards. It was like I was there, but I wasn't there because I was...
That should not have happened to you. The men who did that to you. It was... I think it was one of our fathers who killed them all.
Vision all just bursts with whiteness, and you are on some sort of battlefield. The sky's red and the ground is covered in blood, and that you are surrounded by soldiers, some in metal armor, some in just like sort of almost like tartan clothes and leather, some people just wearing furs. In amongst all of this are these grotesque, fleshy, chitinous creatures, and then it flashes again, and you're almost like on a rock floating in a sort of this purple, hazy kind of place. And then you change again, and it's just silence. Right behind you, you turn to see a suit of armor coming to life, pulling a sword out from beside it. All you have is adrenaline running through your body, and your ears are pounding, and there's ringing, and there's blood. There's so much blood now running down your body. Instinctively, like, put your hands on these wounds, and fingers go into your wounds, and blood is just running everywhere, and you're trying to like just hold it all together, but at the same time you can't stop pulling yourself apart as your fingers grip deep into your skin, and you just start pulling your skin off of your own body, revealing underneath this sort of wet, slimy, skeletal, chitinous body, and you have sort of... You kind of black out at this point. It's someone's turn.
Are we alive? Is this real?
And I pull back a bit, and
Taya.
I look at you, and I kiss you.
And then I pull away. Talia, I love you. I love you. I love you the way I'm supposed to love my husband. I have loved you since I was 3 years old. I thought I was going to lose you again. I've been so stupid. But I just need you to know that my earliest memories are of loving you. And I'm so glad you're alive, and I don't care what you are or what's happening to you. I don't care, I just love you.
How did you get in this room?
Well, there was a series of rooms, of doors. There was one with a fountain and knights who came to life.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm sorry, but we were looking for our fathers, and it seemed like they wanted us, not us, but to come here, and that was what we found, and there was a room that filled with water, and then a long hallway, and we touched the stone, and
That's not for you. It's not for women. They're the 3 trials: strength, intelligence, and wisdom. We all pass through it to become members.
is this the Fraternitas Custodia by any chance? You knew my father, Frederick Van Hallow.
Yes.
Do you know where he is?
No. I don't know where any of them are. It's just me left.
Oh,
Well, me and Jonathan, I suppose.
Jonathan who?
It was... I mean, he's not really a member, but...
Jonathan Whitmore.
Yes.
Father, in
He's
the painting, he...
a great sorcerer. Possibly the strongest... No, the strongest among us. All 3. But if you cannot remove the ring, then...
It doesn't even move.
you are bound to it. Which means, I suppose you are some sort of sorceress?
What about my father? If you're a sorcerer and Talia was that creature.
Creature? She has the curse.
I don't know.
Jonathan, Talia has the curse. You have unwittingly performed a ritual that has been going on for thousands of years. It is a sort of introduction to a group of people that have spent eons protecting this realm. We think that somehow there is a group of people out there that we think they may have unleashed something unholy to hunt people down.
I'm not going to listen to a word that you say. Why should I believe you now? You lied about everything.
To keep you safe.
And am I safe? And her death, was that an accident?
Perhaps you're right, we should...
That is not an answer to my question.
You are not ready for the answer.
You do not get to decide what I am ready for anymore.
No, your father.
My father's not here. That's the point, Jonathan. He's not here and nobody's doing anything. Again.
You look like you're going to hit him again?
Yeah.
Very well. Then you should sit down. Your father may have a penchant for secrets, but there is one I have kept that he must never know about. Your mother's death was an accident. But it was not a horse and carriage ride gone awry. It was the curse. Sometimes when certain planets are in an alignment, I'm told, the ability to control the curse can be lost during periods of intense emotion. Your father has no idea. We hid it from him. And he must never know because it would kill him. And it was not his fault. Gods.
Gods. Plural.
There used to be many, we believe. And now there are none. Just echoes and fragments. Can't...
I don't understand. I'm terribly sorry.
The war that you saw in your vision...
Yes.
Yes, they lost it.
The gods. Are you telling us that there is no god?
I grabbed the soggy Bible, rip it in half.
Ah, I see you girls have returned at last. Is Aggie with you? Well, do come in. We have lots to talk about.
Do I hear that voice?
It is your brother.
This is Albert, my brother.
Quite unexpected.
Well, it was quite unexpected for us when we learnt, well, the manner of things that we have learnt.
Yes, I imagine quite a shock.
And of your involvement in such things to the extent that you have been involved.
Yes.
Lack of involvement in actually finding them.
Well, I was told to stay out.
And I'm sure you always do as you're told.
No, not at all. But when one's friends and comrades are being surreptitiously murdered in the streets, I do tend to do as I'm told. When you first got sick, when you were 3, was it? Your mother did not take it well. You were always her favourite. She always wanted a little girl. And then when she thought that she might lose you, she went to a very dark place, I suppose. So apparently religion was her way out of that. We all tried. We just couldn't...
But if you had known... you could have stopped it. Have you heard of laudanum before?
Of course. Everyone has common medicine. I don't touch the stuff. It's frightfully addictive, but... No, this will be our secret. But, yes, we'll get you off that as soon as we can.
Have you heard of the full moon ball?
There have been rumours of a quite mysterious moon-themed masquerade ball on the night of the full moon tomorrow. It is causing quite a stir in London society, you see, and we thought perhaps it might be something. So we have procured tickets for ourselves, alongside the Viscount Edward Sellingham.
It sounds frightfully dangerous.
Well, yes.
If it's more than just a ball. Yeah, you're taking in the dance hall as you walk past the inn, looking through the double doors. When on your 20, you see that the floor has been elaborately tiled in a sort of interesting, esoteric pattern.
The floor.
Once you notice the patterns there, you can be like, oh yeah, that looks
I've been
just
in
like just like a summoning circle.
Children have been going missing.
Yes. Sorry.
There's been instances of domestic servants, children from orphanages being moved and then no longer being able to be tracked.
Do you believe in the occult?
One of the words says final, and then the very last two words say full moon. When you pull the drawer open, there's a pack of cards there that something deep within you connects to them. Oh, please, it's one of the final dances of the evening. We'd love you to join us.
Apologies, I'm feeling quite unwell and I've sprained my ankle.
Oh, the Duke really does insist.
I'm sorry, I simply would injure myself more. I was just trying to find my husband and leave.
No, the Duke really does insist.
How many people are there?
If you could all come this way.
I'm simply unable to dance, sir.
She really cannot even walk back into the ballroom. It would
I'm
be...
sure that's fine. We'll all come this way now.
Walk very slowly and essentially at the first bit of uneven ground, I stumble and fall.
I will, stop and, kneel by you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Guard kicks you.
I'm going to punch him.
Everyone in the halls hears the gunshots. There's a few screams and some gasps, and a few people go to sort of run out of the two doors. And as they get to the doors, they bounce back over them, and there's this flash of blue energy around the doors. And if you take the time to look, and you kind of can, you can start to see that the pattern on the floor is now beginning to glow through the windows, and they're large windows, so you can get a good view of it. These sort of writhing, huge tentacles coming out through the floor and whipping in different directions, and you can hear the people screaming, and suddenly the windows with blood. What sounds like guttural snarls and scratching of nails on stone. And as you run down the street away from the river, in front of you, this dark shadow with glowing red eyes slides around a corner, fixes its eyes on you. So it's the Viscount's turn. It snaps and bites, and there's this fire coming out of his breath as it bites on you. Probably the best thing he can do, he's going to take Rosalind's hand,
Oh no.
cast Dimension Door, and disappear.
Sorry, what? What? Excuse me?
What?
Sorry?
He does.
What the fuck?
I'm not finished yet. You find yourself standing in some quiet streets.
Shall I take us off this map?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We're over.
In the dark, you don't recognize it. He turns to you and he says,
What? How did you...
I'm terribly sorry, Rosalind. I really must have your hand. And as you look down at your hand, and there's the burning sensation of the stump of your hand, and when you look up, he's gone. And this unconscious woman, as you go to do a medicine check on her, her body starts to sort of
Who is she?
ripple, and almost like these sort of rainbow shimmers go across her body, and it's the grey hair fades to a dark brown hair. The rotundness and size stays the same, but the beard sort of appears from this face, this sort of stubbly thing. And you're looking at the unconscious body of, say it together now,
Harold!